So my name is Ambassador Maryben Omollo. I'm the founder of Maryben Foundation, where we focus with community development, work closely with young single mothers, and also champion for mental health, not only in Kenya, but across East Africa. Most of the time, our work has been seen or partnered with different organizations here in Kenya and mostly South Sudan and a bit of Rwanda. On top of that, I'm a women empowerment ambassador. And when I talk about women empowerment, most of the time, the term women empowerment has really been corroded, that people feels like it's something different. But we're just trying to show women that they are able to do other things. They are capable of doing different projects. They are beautiful. They are worthy. We're just trying to introduce a different concept from what our grandmothers, our mothers knew. And on top of that, I'm also a mental health coach, and I love mental health.
Right.
Because I'm a recovery of depression, 5 suicide attempts, failed suicide attempts, 4 years of antidepressants. And I just learned that life is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple.
Yeah.
How we view it and how we want to be viewed is what matters. I do it wholeheartedly.
I like that. So also quick one, maybe you can also just take us through your background. Did you see yourself in this space of mental health conversations from day one? Where did you study, that kind of thing, just for context purposes?
Actually, I didn't see myself in the mental health space. One of the things that I really, really wanted from back then, I wanted to be a businesswoman. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So my entire focus, my entire life was just based on entrepreneurship. And that's why I founded Greensill. Now, when Greensill began, I knew I'm Greensill. Greensill is me. And each and every time people would ask me, who are you? I would tell them, Mini de Mwamende Panya Viroboto. That was my identity.
Yeah.
And I won that crown with so much pride. And then fast forward, I noticed I'm going through depression. I had childhood trauma that, I had a lot of things that I didn't even know existed in me. The only thing that could present itself was self-hatred, self-sabotage, inferiority complex, suicidal thoughts, self-limiting beliefs and all that. Then the kind of environment I was putting myself in, I felt everyone was doing me a favor, being with me, talking to me, dating me, associating with me.
Like they felt sorry for you?
Yeah, I felt like, you're doing me a favor. If you hang out with me, it's just a favor. If you call me, it's just a favor. And I felt like I wasn't worthy of anyone. Fast forward to around 2016, 2017, because I was jobless at that time, it's when I realized things are bad. I couldn't sleep. I could stay awake for 2 days. I hated eating. I hated showering. So I knew there's a problem. Now, I started seeking out for counseling sessions. They were very expensive. At that time, I couldn't even afford it myself. So I was just there. Mm-hmm. I remember I went to somewhere, they said it's a church. They said they're offering free mental health therapy. I went, they did an assessment. They were like, no, you're not even out of 40. Yours is bad. You need to, they referred me somewhere else, and I had to look for money to pay for it. And at that time, I think I was in my 3rd time trying to die by suicide. And I noticed it was bad. But at that time, in as much as it was bad, I was already rejecting myself. And in that rejection, fast forward to 2019, it's when I discovered I needed help. I needed to recover.
Yeah.
So I met a very amazing someone on LinkedIn, a friend of mine. We call him Drew. He paid for my therapy. This was totally a stranger who doesn't know me. After all this, the miscarriage, the abortion, everything. So when I met him, and one of the things that stood out, I used to write my story on LinkedIn. I'm a storyteller.
Oh, interesting.
So any story I write, I write it wholeheartedly. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people used to think that, since I'm writing stories, maybe it's a lie, it's a fiction. I'm like, no, this is my story. This is
it's
me.
True. Yeah.
And they're like, you're not scared of telling people your story. I'm like, no. I've already been scared for a very long time. Since childhood, I've already felt like people being close to me, looking at me, talking to me, I felt like they're doing me a favor. So I don't want to be in that space anymore. I don't want people to treat me like a woye case. I want to be me. So I'm going to tell my story.
Yeah.
Then he paid for my therapy. I met a very amazing therapist. He was called Kiarie. I would tell him everything that I feel about myself, every negative thing, and this guy would laugh.
He would just listen.
He would just listen.
And you're like,
laugh.
why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing? I'm here seeking for help and you're laughing. And he would laugh and just tell me, I love you, Maryben. I continue and I would tell him, and he was like, can you just give me a permission to call someone? I'm like, it's fine. Because anyway, I'm a pathetic case. So he would call these nurses and he would tell them, just tell them what you've said. And I would tell the nurses, and all of them, they would start laughing.
What?
And I would be like, why are you guys laughing? And they're like, you're beautiful. You're amazing. Yeah. You're more than enough.
Was it that you were cracking jokes? Like, were you, I don't know, what was funny?
I was telling them the way I'm ugly, the way I'm too short, the way I'm brief, the way I'm dark.
And they thought you were joking.
And they thought I was joking. And they're like, the way you are, the way you look.
Yeah.
And they helped me to see myself from a different angle.
Nice.
At the same time, I had met a mentor who was... Now, I have a therapist who is looking at my physical and emotional, and I have a mentor who is looking at my overall spiritual, emotional, physical. He's trying to show me who I am, what I'm capable of. And then I sat down and I asked myself, how many people are in this space?
Right.
And the people around them keep on spiking negative words, calling them names, telling them you're worthless. There's nothing. Literally, nothing good can come out of you. And then I looked at my situation. I couldn't afford therapy. And then I asked myself, how many people can't afford therapy? And this is not only here in Kenya.
I'm sure.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
Therapy is very expensive in the US.
Yeah.
There are people we've been counseling, and in the US is very expensive. We actually charge them peanut here.
And then it's not a one-off.
It's not a one-off. You have to go there every day. So I asked myself, how many people are not able to afford therapy?
Right.
And I was like, okay, it's not like I'm going to lose anything. It's not like my name is going to change. So what are we going to do? We're going to start speaking life into them. We're going to talk about the mental health. We're going to talk about every conversation that people feel uncomfortable.
And so it was at that point when you decided to start your foundation?
Yes.
Okay, talk about that briefly.
Even before we started the foundation, I was torn in between doing the Green Cell Foundation or even Maryben Foundation. So when I won the first award in 2022 under Women Empowerment, that is Top 40 Under 40 Africa, it's like my whole story changed.
Yeah.
No longer people would look at me as that pest control lady. Everyone is looking at me as a women empowerment leader because I won under women empowerment. Everyone is getting to know my story in mental health. So I'm like, this is a new life, and it's something that I really enjoy.
So just for context purposes, when you say pest control, that's the kind of work you did initially.
Yes, that's what I did.
To get back on your feet.
Yes.
Okay, moving forward.
Yeah. So everyone is now referring to me differently. People are calling me. People are asking me to talk about my story, to talk about my journey. I'm sitting down with women who've gone through GBV. I'm getting to hear their story. Most of the time, people ask these women, why have you not left?
Yeah.
Why are you staying? There are those who are staying because of children, both men and women. There are those who are staying because of kids. There are those who are staying because they're not financially stable to live. There are those who they're wondering, what will the society say? What will the church do? I will be castigated out of the church. People are going to talk like this and that. I'm a public figure. What will people say? We've divorced, we've separated. So I sat down with them and I was laughing. When they're talking, I told them, allow me to laugh. And they're like, why are you laughing? I'm like, I've been there. I've been on the other side of the table. But I realized this other side is much more important.
Right.
I started teaching people the concept of life. Do you understand your life? Because none of us was given a blueprint of life. All of us are trying.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you were born.
It's true.
You came to the world with nothing. You're trying to make life work.
Yeah.
We have the laws that are governing us. We have different borders that are governing us.
Yeah.
And nobody told you that, Kev, you know what? This is how you're supposed to be. You're supposed to marry at 30. You're supposed to marry at 22. You're supposed to have 6 kids, 4 kids, 3 kids. Nobody told us that.
Yeah.
Literally, there's nowhere.
Yeah.
So all the stresses we are having stress based on reality of our current life, based on what people say, people want, how it's supposed to be.
You know what? When I listen to you speak, it just gets to show you how deep-seated some of these issues that we go through are from our families, us as individuals, and even in leadership spaces, for example, in these environments that we are in, whether it's in government, organizations like this one, schools, institutions like schools or whatever. So, talking about building resilient leaders through mental wellness, for starters, why do you think this conversation around mental health is almost seen as a taboo when it comes to leadership spaces? It's like people never want to talk about it. You just want to look at you want to perceive your leaders as perfect, and also you as a leader, you don't want to come off as quote unquote weak when you bring up this mental health conversation. Why is it seen as a taboo?
It's actually seen as a taboo starting from us as leaders, because we believe I'm not supposed to be a weak leader. I'm not supposed to be seen as weakly. I'm not supposed to be seen sick. I'm not supposed to be seen vulnerable. I'm called to lead a whole generation or a whole organization, or a country. So everyone expects me to be at par. My mental state is supposed to be at par. I'm supposed to lead them, guide them, tell them what to do and how to do it. If people find out that, I'm having depression, they will lose trust in me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they feel like, no, you're not worthy, you're not enough.
Yeah.
If you can't lead a community, then who told you can lead this? And actually it happens because it reminds me, even in politics, you hear people say, Kev, if you're not married, then you cannot lead.
Of course, especially for women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You cannot lead a congregation, you cannot lead a community because you're not married, you don't understand the topography and all that. Yeah. And people start hiding. They start hiding their mental states. They start hiding their challenges. They start hiding that, I might be getting a divorce. I might be losing myself into alcohol or drugs. I might be doing this. So they put a facade. Just like today I was talking to a friend of mine. He's called Mohammed Katani, the famous guy who won the 2015 public speaking. And we were discussing something. And one of the things that stood out in our conversation, he said that, just like food, for you to enjoy food, you need salt. You can't consume salt without food. You'll feel like it's bitter.
Right.
But you have to put salt in the food to enjoy the food. That is life. And as much as we have a beautiful life, we're going to have some saltiness in that life. Meaning there are ups and downs. And we have to figure out how are we going to challenge the downs, the downtime, the uptime, how are we going to celebrate it. And when you show people as a leader that, I can break down, I can cry, I can be weak, I can call you, Kev, and ask you for help. It shows that I'm also a human being. I'm not superpower.
I agree.
And it literally...
the way your friend, looks at you like it's like you have superpowers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the word resilience, what does it look like? At what point should you start having resilience, especially when you're going through mental pressure, doubt, burnout? So, you're saying you need to be vulnerable. You need to call your friends. You need to express your emotions, But so how do you start becoming resilient, I guess?
You start becoming resilient by acceptance. You first accept the whole situation. This is what has happened, Kev. This is how it's going. Am I able to change it? No. Am I able to live with it? No. Am I able to live with it? Yes. Then you ask yourself, what next? How can we go about this? Do I need to call someone to help me handle this? Yes. I'll call whichever person someone that you trust. I'll call this person and talk to them. You see, one of the things that people don't understand, when you're building resilience, you need to categorize your friends. Cluster them, categorize them.
Yeah.
Meaning, you need to have friends, the people who go out and party.
Yeah.
You need to have friends that basically, purely this is for party.
Right.
These are party friends.
Yeah.
Number 2, you need to have business friends. Yeah. You know very well, if things go wrong in business, these are the people I'll call.
Yeah.
Number 3, you need to know very well, I need to have friends these are my financial pillars.
Yeah.
People call them kingdom financials, those who are in the ministry.
Right.
Other people will call them financial pillars.
Yeah.
You know very well, if I need finances, this is the person I'm going to call.
Yeah.
And then you need to have acquaintances, whereby you guys just pass by, hi, you get to talk and That's it. And you need to have now close friends who are families.
They're almost like your family.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you need to know these are the people, these are the 5 categories of people I have in my life. And here's the funniest part. The people who you go partying with, they may not help you financially. They may not even give you any advice, but they will be there to drink with you, go for road trips, do other things. The people who you need finances for, your financial pillars, these are people who will not ask questions. They will not hang out with you. But if you need finances, you're going to call
away. Yeah.
If they need finances, they're able to call you.
Yeah.
So by the end of the day, you know, who am I going to? Who am I calling? You also need to have a mentor. When things are going haywire, this guy or the lady, they're able to see far than where you are. And ensure your mentor is someone older than you. They're able to see. They're able to advise. They're able to guide. Now, when you're building resilience, you need to also to understand. You need to have, after having a good social capital, we call human beings social capital. After that, you need to understand now as a leader, you're building your resilience. What do you need? You need to delegate tasks. You don't have to do everything.
I agree.
I always say leaders are not the smartest people in the room. In fact, if you're looking for the smartest leader, you're making a mistake. Leaders just need to pick the smartest people in the room.
Yeah.
I know I'll need a marketer. I'm looking for someone who's good in marketing. Finances, I'm getting someone on this other side. So when you're able to have the right team around you, delegate the tasks. And then remember to have self-care and me time.
Yeah.
I tell leaders, listen, here's the truth. Yes, we are living in a hard economy times. You need to sleep for at most, or rather the minimum, 7 hours.
Yeah.
But as a man, you need to have 8 hours of sleep.
Oh, for real?
Women, we get more than 9 hours.
Yeah.
In fact, a woman can sleep between 9 to 10 hours because of hormonal secretions. Every single day, she secretes more hormone.
Yeah.
But for a man, just take 8 hours of sleep.
All right, hold it right there. We're talking all things breaking the stigma, building resilient leaders through mental wellness. Of course, I'm with Ambassador Maryben Omollo. She's a founder and mental health coach. Yeah.
So I normally tell this to leaders. You need to understand, one, your leadership skills. Because we have 2 different types of leaders. We have a boss, we have a leader.
I agree.
A boss is more of a manager. They want to boss you around. They want to throw words. They want to be seen as bosses. All the credit goes to them.
Right.
A leader is more of a friend. Is more of a friend, is more of a team leader, or rather a team player. These are people who want to understand, how can we do this? How can we work this? They're not even competitive. Bosses compete. Leaders, they don't.
Yeah.
So once you understand what is your leadership style, sit down, look at that, ask questions, take positive feedbacks, and then move on. And this is what I want to tell the teams. Even when you're giving feedback, I normally say, don't give feedback, feed forward.
Oh, I like that.
Don't give feedback, because if you're giving me feedback, if this person has not healed or dealt with themselves, or they are trying to deal with themselves, and you're giving them a negative feedback, the whole wall will crash.
Yeah.
So when you're feeding forward, it's saying something like, you know what, Maryben, I got your point, but next time, can you try saying it like this in a lower tone? Don't yell, I'll understand. So I get the point. Number 1, you loved the point I presented. Number 2, next time I need to lower my tone.
While you're speaking, I'm reminded of a cousin of mine, and he apparently was very, very tough on his son. Wow. So there's a time we went for rugby. Actually, it's before the main game. There's an area where little kids, it's like an academy, would train for rugby. But so this kid, every time I'd compliment him, because I was there watching how this kid was training, he'd look at his dad. And I'm like, so I asked his dad, why is this boy looking at you like that, like he's scared? And then he told me, the reason his son looks at him with so much fear is because he's tough on his son. And I'm like, you shouldn't be like that.
Shouldn't be, yeah.
Because you're creating a sense of fear.
Yeah.
Right? And, that open-ended conversation that you have with the people who work with you, I feel like it's something that should be in families as well, especially between the children and their parents, especially their dads. Some of our very, very strict parents, fathers or whatever. And it got me thinking because I read a quote and it says, it's easy to heal children than to mend broken parents. Do you think that's true?
It's very true. Completely true.
Yeah. What does it mean, like, from your perspective?
Again, that is an interesting question because on top of that, I wrote on TikTok, I asked a question. For those who are raised by harsh parents and hard parents, how is life treating you so far? And it had over 1,000 comments. People are saying that they are introverts. They don't like visiting guests. They don't like going out. They don't like eating with people. They don't like sharing. They prefer their own space. Someone said they don't want to marry. All this attributes to having a strict parents. They can't have conversations each and every time, or even compliment them. When you compliment them, they feel like it's a crime and they cannot compliment people. All these are the effects of being raised by hard parents. Now, there's a difference of being strict and hard and just being a disciplinarian, whereby you can train a child on how to go. Now, back to our parents. I noticed this. I was also raised by hard parents. And right now, my mom is very easy. My dad, they're very easy. But one of the things I noticed was we are dealing with generational trauma. Two things, generational trauma and childhood trauma. In that, when you look at our great-great-grandparents, they were fighting for our independence. So these guys, they were constantly at war. They also facing tribalism. There was inter-community wars. Though we had authoritative kind of leadership. People never had a chance to speak. And anytime you would speak, chances are you might go back home, end up in prison, or we will never find your bones again. So with that, they were living in constant fear. And during those times, you get there was the forced marriage. My mom was married at a very young age. So during those times, there was the forced marriage. You're going to fetch water. Someone's son or someone's uncles, they've kidnapped you, taken you to this person's house. After that, they will go pay dowry at your parents. So you're getting into a marriage that you don't like, number one, in a way that you didn't appreciate. Number two, this man has been forced to marry you. So both of you don't like each other. You're told that you will just love each other as time goes by. So you resent each other, but you have to sleep, have coitus together. Now, these kids will always be kids.
Yeah.
You as a man, you're going out to hustle. You're coming back to a house that resents you. Your wife doesn't like you because she didn't want to marry you. She wanted to marry a Kamau somewhere. But now he has married Onyango. Or Onyango wanted to marry a Chieng. Now he has married Wamboi. Or Monica or someone else. So they come back home. This guy has gone to work. The wife doesn't appreciate her enough, so the guy doesn't come back home early. When he comes back home, he's coming to a home full of resentment and probably just hardship. So he feels he's working hard to take care of someone else. And that's why you see during those times, they looked at women just as objects. And the other communities that saw women as kids. And these women who were given that kind of treatment, they had so much pain and hatred. And that's why you see our grandparents would tell us, don't do this, don't do that, or do this or do that. Now, fast forward to our parents giving birth to us, or their own parents, our grandparents giving birth to them. They start treating them and training them the same way they were trained, the same way they were treated. A man is not supposed to cry. A man is not supposed to be sick. A man is not supposed to beg a woman. A man is not supposed to give a woman their money. That is how they were trained.
A man is not supposed to express his emotions.
A man is not supposed to express his emotions. Literally, you are told, enda kwa bar, kunywa na wanaume wenzako, go home and sleep. And that's it. So this man passes the same trauma to the child. A woman's space is in the kitchen, not in the boardroom, not in government, not in hospital. She's supposed to sit in the kitchen, fetch water, get fire out. That's it. Ensure the kids are okay. Now, the same trauma is passed down to us. You grow up in a household whereby you're told as a woman, you're not supposed to speak. You're not supposed to be in the same living room with men. You're supposed to be in the kitchen, cook, do this, do that. Now, this is a whole generational trauma passed from probably the first to almost sixth or seventh generation.
It's going to lead me now to my next question. So you've given us an example or a scenario of how our parents and our grandparents and also great-grandparents raised our families and our bloodlines out of fear.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of that? What happens when you raise your family, you raise your children out of love? What's the effect of that?
Oh, that kid grows up with the highest level of self-confidence. Until other people will assume that this person or this kid is full of pride. Self-confidence, self-actualization, and they will never for any given time seek validation from anyone.
Wow.
They are more than enough. And that's why you see most of the time people make such funny comments, but it's very true. You will get someone who will ask you, are you not loved at home? You're in this situation where you never loved at home, because that love starts from home, and it makes both the men and the women never settle for less. For instance, someone will tell you, Kev, just go get married. Get someone else and marry. And the people who are telling you, get someone else and marry, you look at them and you wonder, do I deserve this? But when you're properly loved and taken care of and validated by your own family, appreciated by your own family, you will never settle for less.
Yeah,
be it at work, be it friends, be it spouses. Literally, no. And that's why you see at times people accuse other people that they are so full of pride. It is not pride. They were loved correctly at home.
Let me ask you something, Maryben. You seem very smart. You're very well versed when it comes to these types of conversations. I'm curious, what sort of resources would you recommend to people to have this kind of knowledge that you have? Obviously, they can listen to this conversation, but it's obviously not enough. Yeah, I mean, what can they read, man? What can they watch? What movies? What? For me, I love the Bible. I feel like the Bible is, to me, it really grounds me. There's a lot of knowledge when it comes to, certain books or whatever. What about you?
Well, I love the Bible.
Yeah.
And the reason as to why I love the Bible, and most people will not like me saying it, is because you see everything we go through, everything, it's written in the Bible. Meaning, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to stand out. I can always stand out in my own office as a leader, but I don't need to be perfect. Meaning I'll still go back, meditate, repent on something that I know it's a sin.
I like that.
That is one.
Yeah.
2, read books.
Yeah.
I'm more into philosophy.
Right.
And understanding the concept of life. In fact, there's a series I started on my WhatsApp, Understanding the Concept of Life. And putting yourself in someone else's shoes. You get a lot of podcasts. And I love science fiction. You know why? Oh, science fiction every single day.
Yeah,
because these are things that people believe cannot happen, but they do happen. They exist. It's not just a science fiction. No, they exist. It was created. These things were done even way before our generation. And because of that, when you start reading it, when you start reading books, when you start getting journals, when you start looking at the first people who started inventing something, you'll realize where we are is just a continuation of where these guys left. And most of the time, when you start understanding the concept of life and the biblical side of life, you realize there's nothing so different. It's just that right now we are being governed by our own feelings and the feeling and emotions of other people and how other people want us to live.
I want to jump in there as well. You're talking about there's so much influence from energies out there, people's emotions and feelings and their own traumas or whatever. What about the content that we consume? And also that we produce from the conversations on platforms like these ones? There's so much anger from the music that we listen to, so much hate. It's very dirty content sometimes. What impact does that kind of content have on our mental wellness?
Oh, a very huge impact, negatively. Because, for instance, I've been looking at the content creators here in Kenya. And the other day, I was nominated among LinkedIn influencers, and I told guys I'm not going to participate on that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, under Pulse. Because I don't view myself as a LinkedIn influencer. I'm more of a global mental health. And I look at the content people create, the Forex, allow me to even call the Forex, the standards women have to set. TikTok, I saw Bradley saying that TikTok is a soft porn. And I'll tell you, it is true, because you get on TikTok and you look at everything that people say, the standards people set, the lies, the influence, and I sit down and I look at everyone, I'm like, yo, do you guys know what people are going through? For instance, I'll give you an example of myself. So, for the past, since April, I've been having issues with KRA, and it took a toll on me, on my mental state, and we started paying back our debts, the ones we owed KRA. So you can imagine the way KRA can follow you. Now, finishing KRA, we ended up losing 2 of our main clients. And it wasn't because of our service on now this other side of pest control, but because of change of management. They preferred their own friends. It's business. Now, because of that, these ones being our main clients, number 1 and 2, it took a toll on us. Now, when I step out, nobody knows. Literally, nobody knows. Nobody sees it on me. I show up, do whatever I'm supposed to do, guide whoever I'm supposed to guide, mentor people that I'm supposed to mentor, coach them. And by the end of the day, I will write my motivation talks, or even write the mental health talks. But nobody knows what I'm going through. At the same time, I'm trying to recover. I got over 6 rejections in terms of fellowship I was applying for. Today you get a rejection email, sorry, you did not qualify. The next day, after 2 days, another, sorry, you did not qualify. But it never showed on my face. And then there's someone else out there who desires to live a life like Maryben. But do I get to show them?
No, you don't.
Until today, when I decided to tell it on TikTok, on Facebook, that guys, not Facebook, LinkedIn, I've been away because of 1, 2, 3. This is what I was going through, and I needed my mental state.
Hidden depression or functional depression. So, in relation to that point that you've just made, how do you identify whether somebody is going through this term that I actually ran across, functional depression, in the sense that you're functional, it's like a functional alcoholic.
Yeah.
You're moving around. Mapata rejections, you have a smile on your face as a leader, but damn, deep down, you're dying.
You're dying.
You cannot handle it. You don't even know how to express yourself. You're thinking nobody will get it anyway.
Yeah.
So how do you know somebody is going through hidden depression, or is functional depression, if I make sense?
Most of the time, we normally say when it comes to functional depression, it's very hard to realize unless this person is very close to you, because you will notice all of a sudden they are very hyperactive. All of a sudden they are very hyperactive. They are coming early to the office, or leaving late, or doing all the tasks. Some of the tasks they were not able to do, or rather they were not doing. That is the time they're doing the task. They want to stay distracted. They cannot just stay in one place.
So you're busy. You're acting like you're busy, but really
you're busy.
You're hiding the trauma.
You're hiding the trauma. You don't want someone else to see. Or at times they can be very low. Depression is mood disorder. So they are very low. All of a sudden, they don't have mood. They cannot come to work. They're locking themselves in their room. They're always sleeping. They're untidy. All of a sudden, this smart guy or this smart lady, all of a sudden, you just notice there's a change even in their dress code. There's a serious change. But here's the thing. You asked me about the content, and I wanted to clarify this. Now, the issue is when this person is a content creator, you can't tell. Because they will come in front of the camera, put the camera there, smile, lie to you guys. They will get fake money or get money for a day.
These are the Forex guys.
Yeah, count the money out there, tell you guys, you know what, we are making it big, but deep down, Kev, they're suffering.
Functionally depressed.
Literally, they are doing that.
The coping.
It's like their coping mechanism that is not even working. Because by the end of the day, once they switch off the camera, this person is crying. This person is seriously depressed. And the worst part is that they've lied to you. So the moment they switch off the camera, they're here crying. You're on the other side regretting, asking God, what did I do wrong? Where is my life?
I know.
Where am I heading to?
Yeah.
Why is nothing happening to me? But that's not the case. these guys that are just hiding behind.
You think that's how many guys are?
Oh, trust you me, a lot of guys are suffering. A lot.
I can imagine, because you've engaged with them.
I've engaged with them. I've been in that space.
Yeah.
A lot of people are suffering, and they don't want to talk about it.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you short.
It's okay.
How do you end up with somebody? How do you successfully work with somebody that you don't like? Now, this is somebody who's very stressful, but at the same time, you got bills to pay.
Yeah.
There's no jobs in this country. The economy is very volatile, right? You have a family to feed, and you also want to rise through the ranks. I am sure, especially when I read certain conversations in Kenyan spaces, I've seen people complain about how their work environment is so toxic, right? So I'm still also kind of touching on this thing for functionally depressed. So how do you thrive in an environment where you can't just quit, but at the same time, you're trying to have the right state of mind, working with toxic people, right? How do you go about that? Because I'm sure, it's easy to say, Kev, you should just go for therapy, all those other things. But this is something that many Kenyans can, say something about in many different workspaces.
Yeah.
It's like there's always that political person who's very toxic, and they're just the worst.
Yeah.
So how do you balance the two? You're thriving mentally, but at the same time, working in a toxic space.
Number one, there's only one solution I have: build boundaries, set boundaries. And I tell people, the boundaries you're setting is not for other people, it's for you. And you need also to be careful when you're building boundaries, build them correctly so that you don't cage yourself in your own boundaries. If I'm coming to work and I know very well you and I don't like each other, I leave my feelings at the gate. And when we are getting in there, I'll remind you, Kev, I don't like you and I know you don't like me. It is fine. But we are here because of one common goal. We are fighting poverty. So when we are here, set your feelings aside. Let's work. Let's make this a success. And after this, when we leave the gate, pick your hatred for me.
Yes.
One. Number two, tell this person the truth. You know what? I don't like when you step on my space. I don't like when you shout at me. I don't like when you do 1, 2, 3. And I don't like when you do these other things. I prefer... or rather you just tell them, I'll appreciate feedback also from myself. If there's something that I do that triggers you in another way, or rather in one way or the other, let me know so we can do that. Setting boundaries is important, and that's why you hear people say your colleagues are not your friends. Correct. They're your colleagues.
100%.
Someone you've met within 2 days, that is not a friend, that is an acquaintance. Set that. We should stop lying to each other. Set boundaries. After that, tukitoka nje, it's well and good. And number two, if you can I normally tell people, don't be cheated, don't be lied to, that you quit before you get another job. Trust you, Kev, your friends will not even pick your call. They will not even pick your call. I know what you mean. So do not be lied to, you quit. Don't quit. Unless you have option B, unless you have another organization you're moving to, don't quit. Ensure you make this space work for you. Build those boundaries. Number 3, one of the things that people normally say, and I laugh about it, is that we lied to... I stopped doing that, telling people entrepreneurship is the way to go.
Oh.
Trust you me, you need to understand yourself.
It's a crazy world for entrepreneurs.
You need to know. In fact, entrepreneurs, we live by faith, not by sight.
I can imagine. Nothing is a given.
I know. You live by faith, not by sight. Let me tell you, if there are people who believe in God, or rather have faith, more than not even more than pastors, are entrepreneurs. Because you don't know where your next meal is going to come from. You're the one who determines how much you're going to earn by the end of the day, how much you're going to pay your staff. What are you going to do? I moved from having almost 20 employees to 4 employees within a month. So you wonder what next?
Let me ask you, is it possible to be happy in an imperfect world?
Yes, it's possible.
Is it possible?
It's possible.
Okay.
You determine your happiness. Okay. What do you want?
Yeah.
Happiness is relative. Someone might page their happiness on money. others on friends, others on family. But I normally tell people, look in yourself, look through yourself. What is that one thing that makes you happy? Let it not be the external, but let it be internal. How comfortable are you with yourself? Someone asked me a question that, which part of my body do I love the most? And I was like, I don't know. They're like, why? I said, I love every part of my body. Everything. From my head to my toe, from my height. I normally laugh and say, in my family, I'm the brief one. Everyone is tall. So I'm brief. I love it. And they're like, no. What is that one thing that stands out for you? I'm like, just being me. You know, I appreciate every aspect of me. Whether I'm in the house the whole day or I'm where... I've had depression for 7 years, and I'll tell you for a fact, I cannot get depressed. I can't. Stressed, yes. I can be stressed any single day. But depressed, no. Depressed on how I look, no. What someone thinks about me, no. If you think about me in another way, and you tell it to me in a positive way, and I look deep in myself, or rather deep down, and I realize, okay, probably this can affect you, fine. Let me tell you something, Kev. We all get pained by people's opinion. When someone looks at you, that person might just dislike you. Why? They would be like, Kev has dreads. I don't like people who have dreads. I don't like... And when this person comes and tells you, you get offended or you get pained. But here's the truth. Everyone looks at you differently. Everyone views you differently. I might call someone useless, and this person picks offense. Why? Because it's Maryben who has said you're useless. But here's the truth. Probably you're useless to me. You've never helped me in any way.
It's true.
And you're useful to your family. There are many times I might have sought help from you, and you are not able to help me. So I'm like, no, this guy is useless.
Yeah.
And when I say you're useless, it starts affecting you. But your family, you're useful. Every day and night, you go out hustling for them to eat. You're paying rent. There's roof over their head. There's education. There's everything. All their basic need is sorted.
Yeah.
And then you get offended because someone else said, you tell me you're useless. I'm like, I know. It's okay.
Maryben, it's been a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming through. How can guys engage with you even further? What's your contact information?
On all the social medias, just look for Ambassador Maryben Omollo. AMB Maryben Omollo.
Yeah.
That's it. On all the social media.
What's your last word to amazing Kenyans listening to you right now and they're so inspired?
I'll tell them this. Number one, you're more than enough. Number two, you're the best thing that has happened on earth. Number three, live your life. Get to understand your purpose, your calling, and involve God at all times. God is my G. Any single time you pray, ask God for directions, and He will always direct you, and He will guide you on what you should do and how you should go about it. And lastly, don't weigh down yourself. Don't look down on yourself. Life is amazing. Nobody came here with a manual. Every single day is a new day for you to try. And always never be scared of starting afresh. I tell people, big. I start afresh. Every day, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, okay, let's start.
Somebody said there's a former Kenyan politician. Was it Mutula Kilonzo? What's his name? The one who passed on. He was Minister for Education at some point. I can't remember. The governor's dad. Kilonzo. He said, you could take every bit of my wealth. As long as I have my brains, I'm going to bring it back. I'll even double it.
Exactly. Start.
Isn't it?
Yes.
You can always start afresh.
Start afresh.
I love it.
Never write off yourself. Exactly. You start afresh.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for coming through, Maryben.
Thank you.
I knew I could count on you.